I'm going to ask you straight up. Are Arsenal out of the title race?
Yeah, listen, it's a great question, and I think it has to be asked, and we need to start having the discussion who's actually going to challenge Liverpool for the title, because what I'm recognising right now, Manchester City probably too far away from Liverpool to challenge for the title. Certainly the bookies are saying so. I mean, Arsenal, when you are trying to challenge for a title, you got to win these games. You got to at least get 3 points in these games and find a way to win these games. So as far as I'm concerned, yes, I mean, Arsenal are so far away from where they need to be, but it brings up obviously bigger questions. How are Arsenal not winning games like this? Why are they not managing to find that winning goal? Why are they not making the right decisions at the right moment to be able to take all 3 points? Difficult place to go play. Brighton are a very tough team to beat, no doubt about it. Under Fabian Hutzler, they're actually not bad. They've sort of lost their way winning games, but they're still a difficult team to beat. So I think Arteta will be happy, obviously, with the fact that he takes a point and they don't lose the game, but he absolutely won't be happy that dropping points means that they're probably going to push themselves further and further away from challenging for the title.
Yeah, I'm going to go ahead and agree with you in the sense that I think they're out of the title race, and I don't think it's just because of this result to get them in where they are in the table versus Liverpool with 2 games in hand. Liverpool, it's also just the injuries, and more injury woes continue. Obviously, Bukayo Saka already out. They have 9 matches in the month of January. This is number 2, and obviously already without Bukayo Saka, and now they suffer another injury today to their youngster, their goal scorer, who Mikel Arteta says after the match that he is out with another injury as well. Look at this. I mean, look at this list here. It's difficult for any team to overcome all of these injuries. And now they are going to suffer even more. And Arsenal now, because of all these injuries, some of their issues, their glaring issues, are now coming to light even more, Ian.
You know, I don't think that Mikel Arteta's making an excuse, though. I still think he's actually being honest with the media, and he is absolutely annoyed with what's happening with the injuries at this moment in time. Certainly when he was asked about Nwaneri going off the field, a muscular injury.
Yes.
But at the same time, you know, what's this length of injury? They don't know. He said period of time, so you're going to have to be patient to figure out exactly how serious this is for the youngster. At 17 years old, fantastic performance from him in the short period of time we got to witness him. I mean, in large parts of this game, Arsenal looked like they were in control of it. It comes down to decision making at the right moments, and sometimes when you're trying to be in a title race, yes, it's about quality. Yes, it's about maybe having a red hot striker, which they don't have. Gabriel Jesus has scored goals recently, but he's not that guy that's going to get 20 plus goals and win you a Premier League title, at least get you into a Premier League title race. So they're relying on a lot of youngsters to step up, and now obviously another injury to another key player. When you're trying to get some sort of momentum, it's hard not to feel sorry for Arteta. But still, you've got to challenge in some way, and you've got to make sure you stay disciplined in games like this. Why on earth we're seeing a challenge like we did witness for the penalty kick inside the penalty area? I've been in that position. I played against some great teams. Your Bayern Munichs of this world, the Werder Bremens, champions of Germany at the time. Then you've got Borussia Dortmund. I played against them all. At some point, you've got to be smart when you're inside the penalty area. I also know, because I've been stupid inside the penalty area and giving penalty kicks away. What I seen from that challenge, though, was someone who was fully committed to go and make contact on the ball and eventually giving up. So, listen, the penalty kick was the one that killed Arsenal. They didn't deserve, in my opinion, not to win the game. They had created the better opportunities. Brighton's still a good side, but these are the games that decide whether you're going to be a contender or not. So I'm 100% in agreement with you. I think we should just give the title to Liverpool now.
I'm fine with that. I don't have any problems.
Who's challenging, though, Stefano? Who's challenging?
And that's just the thing, that it's not just because Liverpool right now are on a different level than all of the other teams in the Premier League. It's that these other teams are giving them games. I mean, they're giving them and dropping points. So how far is Chelsea from actually being a competitor for the league?
They're not there this year. I would have to say that Chelsea are probably going to be there next year. I'd imagine they'll add some players, maybe move some players on as well. We understand they've got a tremendously large squad, and financially they've got to try and find a way to move pieces in and out. But if you look at the squad and the rotation, dealing with European competition as well, and obviously dealing with the competition that they're playing in on a Thursday, you have to travel some far distances to be able to compete in that competition. They're a favourite, but also compete in the Premier League. It was always going to be difficult. But I do think that Maresca's done a fabulous job, because what he's done is he's absolutely calmed the noise. No one from the outside is criticising Chelsea now. No one's criticising the signings. No one's talking nonsense about the players, even though it's been disappointing for them, obviously, since Christmas Day. I mean, you only have to go and look at what he did do when he took over the job. He dropped, and Chelsea dropped 2 points from winning positions just before Christmas, which is a remarkable statement. Basically, you get the lead, you're not giving it up. But they've dropped 5 points now from the last 3 games from winning positions, and that is a slight concern. concern. What is it? It's around the holiday period. There's a lot of games coming thick and fast. You're now going into obviously multiple competitions, but these results don't lie. I mean, Chelsea have not been good enough, and there is room for improvement. Maresca's been telling us that, so we understand. In him we trust, right? Chelsea have got to trust in the process, and I think he's definitely on to the right platform of where they need to go. Jadon Sancho's performance, Cole Palmer's performance, another outstanding duo today who were terrific for Chelsea Football Club. I think they stepped up massively, but they've got goals in the squad, and they're a dangerous team, and he's a fabulous coach that's taken Chelsea in the right direction.
Now, obviously, he's tempered the expectations, so we kind of know that this team maybe isn't ready for that battle, but still, they have struggled a lot more in these last 4 games than they had the entire season. So what has gone wrong where they have been struggling to score?
I don't think it's necessarily just scoring. I think sometimes what happens around the holiday period, these games come so quickly. Right. You don't have time on the training ground to do any sort of tactical approach to any of these opponents. So you're basically just going from game to game, next game, and then all of a sudden the players eventually get a little bit fatigued. And we talk about them rotating. They haven't necessarily rotated too much over the last 4 games because they're important games in Premier League to keep you in the top 4. What is the goal for Chelsea Football Club? It's probably not to win the Premier League this season. If they finish in the top 4, you would have to say that that is a tremendous success for Maresca for what he's done in his first season in charge at that football club. But the squad that they've got, Stefano, they are a fabulous team to watch. And there is room for improvement. He keeps telling us that. So I'm finding it hard to criticise them right now. He was also telling us there would be a drop in form. Some of the results have been interesting though, right? I mean, some of the performances. I mean, you're talking against teams who are mid-table teams or maybe teams that are in the lower half of the table that you can't find a way to win games. Those are the differences between in the Champions League and not, because now there's teams who are behind them trying to catch up, albeit Newcastle now getting very close to them in the Premier League standing.
Is there any pressure on them in the Conference League? Because they are favored in the Conference League against some of those, a lot of that competition, all of that competition, really. So are they under any pressure to win a trophy, albeit a European trophy this season?
I mean, I don't see much pressure coming. I mean, the Italian teams would be the ones I'm worried about the most. Fiorentina obviously have got great history in this competition, so I would be certainly concerned about them. But I do think that Chelsea are 100% the favourite in this competition, and Chelsea should lift that trophy. And in my personal opinion, they should go for that trophy as well. They should aim to try and win a trophy, because I think a European trophy for Chelsea Football Club is a step in the right direction. The squad is young, the squad is still developing. Clearly the last 4 results have told us that. But I'm pretty excited about what Maresca is doing. They shouldn't have lost that 3 points though. Yeah. They should have found a way to be able to stick in there. But I got to give credit to obviously Crystal Palace getting back into the game. What Oliver Glasner's done after at one point thought he was going to get fired. Yeah. He's managed to get his team a bit more consistent. I want to see a bit more from Mateta though, because I still think Palace can move further up the table themselves. But Chelsea will be okay. I'm not worried about them. I think they finish in the top 4, you know.